The World Health Organization
Ah,
has drafted up their, the International Compendium of Diseases, the ICD for short. Apparently their system involves new drafts of this document coming out, and then it's reviewed by John put the Sith hood up for those who can't see. They put these drafts together of mental conditions and diseases and things. I assume it goes through various peer review processes, and eventually this thing gets drafted into medical law, which is not a thing. But that's all to say that the latest draft of this International Compendium of Diseases includes gaming disorder. And this is, I've got a link, I'll pull this up. This is something that came from Polygon also. And I think the quotes are all pretty long and full of medical speech and things like that. But the idea here is that they want to put gaming disorder on the books as something that can be treated in young people and adults. And if you see symptoms like someone is not taking care of their responsibilities and they're spending all day at the arcade or all day in front of the Xbox, you can maybe talk to your doctor to see if not playing video games is right for you. Tell me your thoughts on this, and then I'll, probably just rant belligerently.
that's what I'm trying to keep from doing because I want to try to offer some, sound information on this.
Yeah.
Not to say that that isn't what you're going to do.
That's
but
correct.
finding the urge to just not go off on this is really difficult because this is, of course, not as horrible as the swatting thing by any means, but it makes my brain wiggle in an uncomfortable manner.
Sure.
Also, it's so clear to me. That if you have a decent head on your shoulders and you know medical information, layman can understand by using logic an okay amount of some complex stuff, even if it is medical. And I think that you have to grossly ignore the fact that if the video game is taking over that person's life that much, that it is a different psychological issue, a different issue altogether. And this bizarre need to demonize the games in this equation just doesn't compute with me because there's clearly something else wrong with this person. Because, I mean, you take that type of stimulus away from them, what is it going to be? TV shows, movie?
Right.
What else is this going to be?
When something comes up that everyone is, it's important to me that we try to find both cases, really look at both sides of this thing. And obviously in my head, I'm going like, gaming is fine, it's not hurting anyone, get the hell out of here. I want that to be the result. However, it may be because I was just at a pivotal age during the 90s, but I feel like since about that time, like previous generations, especially my relatives, looked at gaming and went, boy, on 2020 they said this was dangerous, and they put out an article in the New York Times that said that this impacts the pleasure centers in the brain the same way drugs do. And
so does chocolate.
You beat me to the punch there. Like, and that's fine. But this comes up during the screen time debate as well. Like, if you show your 2-year-old an episode of Thomas the Train, you're all going to hell. It's the science is misused because, for one thing, most of us who are talking about it are not actual scientists or researchers or whatever the case is, but people are going like, this affects you the same way drugs do, and like, well, so does playing baseball, and so does doing well on a test. A lot of the stuff that I tell people about, let's maybe not worry so much about 1 or 2 hours of screen time for a kid who's in the car, or a kid who has been working with us on learning all day and stuff like that. I would tell people the same thing. First of all, I would say let's go ahead and research it if indeed that is the push behind this. Let's do the research, because I am confident you're going to find, and this is just based on logic, that it is perfectly healthy in moderation, as most things are.
Yeah.
because we have been informally watching this since 1972 or so. The jury's not out. We know how it impacts you. If you're healthy with it, you're fine, and if you're not, it's going to be like anything else. And
yes.
it's going to be less bad than booze, and it's probably going to be worse than reading books. We know ultimately where we're going to end up here. So if it takes putting this down in the books, and then when Aunt Jane comes over and says, those video games are bad for the kids, like now you'll be able to say, well, actually they researched it, and if a child follows this basic chart or guide or whatever, like it's actually, they're probably going to do a little better on tests and have better coordination, and they may learn how to relate to the world better. It doesn't misalign your back and make you stupid.